Doing something for the first time is wild. And when you think of the outdoors, it's inherently wild. I think the most important thing for me is sharing an activity, sharing what I love with people that have not experienced that or have some kind of barrier related to it. The magic of being able to create that bond, that connection with an activity, a person, a place, that's special. Well, welcome in to another episode, another one of Sincerely Yours Outdoors. Man, what a night. I just want to go ahead and give the shout out to the crew for setting up this backdrop. Like, my God, look at this.
Yeah.
How we feeling tonight, guys?
Good, real good, man. Real good.
I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
It feels good to be back in this space.
Yeah.
You know, as we're setting up, I flashback to episode officially
Yeah.
number 1.
Yeah.
So it's dope to be back in this space to see where we are, or see where we were at that point in time to where we are now.
Mhm.
And then to be here with you, Dorian, is pretty dope to be full circle with this. So
Yeah, it's definitely
I'm feeling
here.
good. Yeah.
Definitely happy to be here. Appreciate that,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, just had a good ride today, you know what I mean? So coming in off that high, you know what I mean? It's good to sit down and
Yeah.
have a good conversation.
I was going to say your legs probably stretched out now, but
Oh, yeah, most
after this
definitely.
episode, they're going to be tightened up.
Be time for a hot shower or cold
You
bath.
might be sitting for a little bit. I love it. Well, Dorian, super happy to share this space with you, man.
Thank you.
Excited to hear more about what you've got going on and really broadcast everything that you've got in your outdoor story on this platform. So
Yes, sir.
I want to pass it along to you for you to introduce yourself, how you see best fit. So we always open this up. Some people, want to share, hey, I'm Dorian and I do this. You explain your introduction in whatever format you see best fit.
Okay. Well, name's Dorian McKinley, 37 years old.
A young one. Young
I
37.
appreciate that. Father, 2 kids. My junior, Dorian McKinley Jr., and my daughter, Zara, ages 2 and 5. Family man, creator, just trying to find my path in life, you know what I mean? That's pretty much it. I'm just on this journey of life and enjoying it.
Yeah, I love that. That's awesome. We always try to feed in the cultural narratives throughout.
Yep.
What have you been vibing to? I know Brother Lloyd gave us a little bit of tea on what he was vibing to when we interviewed him, but what music you popping off right now?
For the most part, I'm listening to, who I'm listening to heavy? I'm listening to a lot of Ransom, dropped a new mixtape not too long ago.
Porches?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I'm real heavy into Ransom. Who else just dropped a good one about a week or so ago?
Can we get that Scott review? The Travis Scott review?
Travis Scott
Don't come
review?
out too hot. We might have to cut this interview, okay?
It didn't give me the usual Travis.
Okay.
Okay.
It wasn't that high. I didn't get that same high up-tempo feel,
Yeah.
that I usually get from him.
Okay.
So, it was, I guess because the expectation for it was so high,
Mm-hmm.
because his track record is flawless.
Yeah.
So, just me, my personal opinion, it didn't hit the way the other ones did.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That discography is deep.
Yeah.
Very, very, very. So it's hard to keep topping
For sure.
Yeah.
every time, you know what I mean? And he's been through a lot. He's been going through a lot right now, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that might have had something to do with his creative mindset, you know what I mean, where he was coming from with his music. So never know, but yeah,
Okay.
could have been better for me.
Hey, Astro World, classic.
Classic.
Birds in the Trap, classic.
Classic.
Rodeo, classic. Days Before the Rodeo, classic.
List goes on.
I mean, what can we do? Yeah.
Birds in the Trap.
Yeah.
I mean, should we keep going?
Right.
Yeah. That's 5 projects that are just
Yeah.
dumb. Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
So-
you can't even. Everybody has one bad album.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or subpar album. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So it's all good.
Yeah. What else have you been consuming? Even just outside of like music, has it been digital? Whether it's like video, movie, cinematic, whatever that may be consuming. Reading is like there's so many different ways in which you can consume art. So are there anything adjacently from there? That
Oh, you know what? I just finished up Succession not too long ago.
okay.
And that's something that I had got into when it first started. I fell off for a little while, but that is a great series, and I was surprised because I didn't know it was based on a true story.
Okay.
So that's one of the things that just caught me off guard about it, like just the way that families and business intertwine, and it can get ugly.
Yeah.
It can get real ugly. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing for the most part, spending time with the family. You know, like I said, I had 2 kids. So I mean, I've been doing a lot of that. My son starts school next week. So, you know what I mean? Uniforms, just all in my pockets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Drug best friend.
Gotta give it to him.
Yeah, you got to give it to him. You can't have him going to school bumming on the first day of school. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's that first day of school fit look like?
Ooh, you know what? He wears uniforms.
Okay.
So it's all about the shoes. All about the shoes.
What's that fit?
I got him some bronze. About to get him some of the Panda Dunks that everybody's wearing. You know what I mean? So
Got to.
got to.
Yeah. The
Got
new
to.
Air Force Ones.
You know what I mean? Exactly. You know what I mean? So,
I won't disagree with that.
Yeah.
I won't disagree with
but Air
that.
Force Ones are classics too.
Crispies.
On their
Yeah.
own. You know what I mean? But yeah, so that's probably one of his first day looks. Cap geese,
Okay.
blue polo. You know what I mean?
Panda Dunks.
Yes, sir. Yes,
get
sir.
Nice.
Stunner boy. Yeah.
love that.
I love that.
I'm like, that's flashing me back to like, I'm trying to think of my greatest first day fit. And it wasn't as impressive as that.
No.
So,
No.
to be quite,
No.
to keep it a bean, my
Like
first day
Bugle
fits.
Boy or something like that, man.
yeah.
My mom used to put me looking at them school photos, man. You'd be like, what is that? You know, doing what they can do, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Memories, man.
No doubt. No doubt. Man, that's funny. That's funny. So, Dorian, like, tell us a little bit about, cycling and, all the things in which you kind of consume outdoors. Like, initially from the onset, like, how did cycling start for you?
I mean, cycling was something that I did as a kid, you know what I mean, like on a daily basis.
Yeah.
You know, I had a few friends around the neighborhood, right in my little circle of neighborhood. You know, my parents ain't let me go too far. You know what I mean? So that's all we did all day. I had a good friend, Brian Burley, lived around the corner from me. We'd go ride to his house, go play hoops. I had another friend, Armand, that stayed up the other way, go to his house. You know what I mean? We just rode around all day, rode races. We had an alleyway, this crazy alleyway. We had races through the alleyway. And like when the first day I met Armand, we're racing through this alleyway and there's this ditch on the side. When you turn this corner, I fell in this ditch and it's a forever story to the day I die. Every time I see him, I get my balls busted about that. First day, you know what I mean? But yeah, so that's always been a good with me. Then probably around like I want to say 2017. Just had the urge though, want to just get out and ride again. You know what I mean? So I was looking up some bikes. And for some reason, I was just fascinated with fixies at the moment, single speed bikes.
Okay.
So looking through some sites online, ended up getting me a bike from. It's a site that's closed down. I can't think of exactly what it was, but yeah, I got that bike, and that's when I first started riding with a few of the guys from the crew. My friend Frog, I used to see him out riding a lot. And it was like, man, I got to get out with you guys. And this is before anything was anything. This is just guys just rolling out. And I'm the only guy on this fixie. You know what I mean? I'm thinking I'm going to get left. And surprisingly, I was up in the front of the pack. So, like, I mean, I felt good. And it just made me want to just keep going. And just seeing how when we all came together, it was just the conversations that were had. You know what I mean? Just the camaraderie and just the building between black men.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was just a beautiful thing, and it was just we had to just keep that ball rolling. So we just started meeting up more and more, and it just became like it just started growing and growing to what it is now.
That's awesome. Like to think that, you know, it started in this origin of like
Right.
riding
Right.
in this
And
alleyway.
it started like right around the well, when we started with the rollers, it started like right around pre-pandemic time.
Okay.
I mean, there's nothing to do. Can't go to the gym. You know what I mean? You got to get something. You got to get away from your lady sometimes. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
So you need that time to get out and refocus. It's almost like therapy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing. So that's why I'm deep in it now.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Dorian, do you still remember your first bike?
My first bike was a hand-me-down from my cousin.
Hmm.
It was a blue Huffy, I want to say. And I think I was around like 3 or 4 years old. I brought it home, and we have like this slow grade hill. Mind you, this didn't have any
Like training wheels.
training wheels on
Yeah.
it. Yeah, no training wheels on it. So I was pretty much like rolling it down the hill, almost like these bikes that they have now for the kids that don't have pedals on them.
Okay.
Yeah, so like the balance bikes,
Yeah, yeah.
pretty much. Yeah.
Yep.
So I started out with that at like the age of 3 or 4, and then slowly got into learning how to pedal the bike, and next thing you know, I'm flying all around up and down that street. You know what I mean? So that was my very first bike, a hand-me-down,
Oh, that's great.
hand-me-down Huffy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can still envision the mongoose as we
With the pegs.
speak, man. All 4 pegged out, man.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What a life. That was some good times. You'd referenced you know, kind of teaching yourself how to ride and finding that community of friends and colleagues and, you know, people that I'm sure you have a lifelong bond with
Oh, most
through
definitely, yeah.
bicycling.
Yeah.
You know, just as a kid growing up in Wilkinsburg, what was bike infrastructure like even in that moment? You know, I think of us coming into Pittsburgh and being just kind of amazed, honestly, even from where we grew up in more rural North Carolina. The bike infrastructure is really great here, but I could imagine even being in Wilkinsburg and even the times, 15, 20, 30 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
biking was not the same as what it's seen now.
Oh,
you know,
no,
like,
not at all. Not at all. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess there really wasn't no infrastructure. It was just kids out riding bikes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There wasn't no
dodging cars.
yeah, dodging cars, you know what I mean? There's no bike lane, things of that nature, you know what I mean? So, and it's like when Pittsburgh, all you get, there's hills everywhere. So I just lived on top of a hill. I mean, a long hill. So it's like, you go down it, you gotta get back up it. You know what I mean? And especially when you go through those years, like I had a BMX bike, I had a tricked out bike
Yeah.
with the gyro on, you can spin all the way around, you know what I mean, the pegs and all that.
Yeah.
And it's not fun riding a bike with no gears
Yeah.
up a hill.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? You gotta rock it back and forth. You gotta wind it all up a hill. So, man, yeah. It's gotten better with the infrastructure, but definitely back then there was none.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We make it down to like Frick Park, running through the trails, you know what I mean? Things of that nature, and things just happen. You mess around and get a flat tire, which you gotta walk your bike all the way back home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Long walk back home.
Long walk back home, man. So those are just things that like I think about from when I used to ride as a kid. It's like
Yeah.
now it's like I ain't going out like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have my patches with me, pump. You know what I mean? I got everything, so
Yeah.
I'm ready to go.
I love that. I love that. How, like, you mentioned the kind of like stock gap in between like young Dorian riding to, you know, like 2017, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
Was there any time in between that where like curiosity, like, did you just like jump off a bike and enter another space as it relates to being outdoors, or was it just like a light switch and it's like, I need to get back on a bike?
Yeah, it was just like a light switch went off, honestly.
Yeah.
Like just literally a light switch, like, cause my dad used to have a bike for a while. It was this big old Schwinn. I used to go play with that for a while, but it's like, no, I need something that's actually mine's, fits me,
Yeah.
that I can actually go out and really ride. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not just like jump on my bikes and ride on the streets 5 minutes and come back.
Yeah.
I really want to get out here and enjoy the city.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I used to do as a kid.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's probably like riding a bike, running the streets, running the sidewalks. I think that's the best way to see the city.
Right.
To be quite honest.
Yeah.
With that,
Everything slows down.
totally.
You're not just in a car, just tunnel vision. You know what I mean? Just flying around.
Yeah.
You know?
Agreed. Yeah, I think Shaquaya mentioned like that's her primary mode of transportation when she like goes and visits another city because she can just hop on the bike. Oh, I want to stop at this place. Get off right now.
Right.
And then go to it.
Not have to go look for parking, things of that nature. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. So that's really cool that we parallel in that space there. Talk about how it's like created community for you. You mentioned those group of riders that like tag along with you in 2017, even like during pandemic as well during that time, in which you kind of created community and like I'm sure there were. I mean, for us all. Independently, like pandemic was tough times.
Right.
Like
yeah.
taking that and
Yeah.
intersecting that with being black
Yeah.
was even more difficult.
Most definitely.
So like, what did that look like for you and the community that you had cultivated?
Yeah,
like in those spaces.
I mean, that's why the community was so important at the time because it was a stressful time. You know what I mean? And you needed some type of outlet.
Yep.
Like I said, with the conversations we had during those times were awesome. You know what I mean? Just as men sitting down and having real men conversations, it was therapeutic.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Just able to bounce ideas off of each other. Just home life. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because most of us don't have anybody to really like get those things out to. So it's good to have to bring together a group of people that you can actually do those things with, and it's in a safe space, and it's what I mean? It's welcome.
Mm-hmm. I like always marvel at how like movement can be therapeutic.
Yeah.
Especially if you're all going in the same direction.
Most definitely.
Like literally or figuratively.
Mm-hmm.
So I like commend you and the team for like curating that space.
Right.
Because it's much harder to do. It's like everyone's aware during that time, and even during like COVID when we were in lockdown and in various stages, everyone knows the people that were like, oh, I just wasted that capsule of my time.
Yeah.
And we also know the people that were
that
I
took
learned
advantage
this
of it.
skill,
Yeah,
I did
right,
this,
right.
I made this many friends, I did this kind of stuff. So like, I mean, kudos to you all for like
Thank you.
being attuned and just saying like, yo, I need to create something
Right.
to do with and alongside people.
Right.
Initially, you mentioned like being a creative as well. What does that look like for you? I mean, even out, like external to being outdoors. Like, what is being creative? How does that manifest for you? As well?
I'm just I'm a tinkerer. You know what I mean? Like
Bike mechanic.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. That's exactly it. You know what I mean? So I just love to just tinker and explore things. You know what I mean? Different things. Like you said, bike mechanic. I used to be a part of a clothing line, things of that nature. So I'm just shoes, clothes, you know what I mean? So I'm just all around just like a creative person. Like I'm always, my mind's always going, always. Always. You know what I mean? There's times I'll just be sitting there and I'll shoot things to my partner Lloyd about the bike club. You know what I mean? It's just, what do you think about this? Bounce things off his eyes like that. You know what I mean? So it's just, I'm just always, my motor doesn't stop.
Yeah.
It doesn't stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, the creative mind, man. Once it gets going,
It's hard to stop it. Watch out.
You can't
Yeah,
shut it
you know
off.
what I
You
mean?
wake up in the middle of the night, it's like, ooh, I gotta write this down. I had a
Right,
great
exactly.
idea.
Yeah.
Tangent, but do you have a favorite clothing line?
At the
Favorite
moment,
brand?
no, not. I'm in more to like buying pieces.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I like to put things together.
I love that.
Yeah, so I'm just very all over the place
Yeah,
with brands. You know, I'll see a piece on Zara's website over there. I'll throw it with some Gap pants and
yeah,
you know what I mean? So it's just putting stuff together.
for sure.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You had referenced kind of brotherhood and what that has been for you and cultivating that with Steel Rite Rollers, which I want you to kind of explain in more detail, like what that is, how people can engage. But brotherhood means a lot of different things for a lot of different people. You know, I can speak from my experience. I mean, having literally a twin, I'm like, our level of brotherhood is eternal. You know, we've spent 30 years together in every way. You know, when I needed to pick up the phone and call someone, it wasn't anyone else. It was Derek, and Derek knows it's mutual for me.
Right.
But
Which is hilarious.
Yeah.
Because we oftentimes get questions about who's your best friend, and it's like,
Yeah, I'm a twin.
Duh.
which is hilarious.
Yeah.
I'll let you keep going.
Yeah, but man, yeah. So I pose that question to you. I feel like I probably already understand and know the question, well, the response that you're gonna give, but seeing you and Brother Lloyd on the bike today reminded me of like
Oh, it was dope.
what we had.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm like,
Thanks.
man, that was like I was so intrigued and really proud to just be able to sit and watch, because I'm like, man, that's Black men that are enjoying time together,
Right.
feeding each other, you know, encouraging each other and
Pushing each
communicating.
other.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
directly. I mean, I could hear you on the bike and it was like, car,
Yep. Yeah.
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 you ready?
You gotta
Push
you gotta,
off. Like,
yeah.
those small cues go so far in life.
It's a
So,
relationship you gotta build, man.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
So
Even,
like, what does that mean to you? Brotherhood just in general. I mean, you have a bike club that's built around it, but
yeah. It's all about, you know what I mean? Just holding each other responsible, loving each other.
Yeah.
Just pretty much, you know what I mean? Like you said, just being there for each other, you know what I mean? Being there when it's needed. You know what I mean? Good, bad times, ups and downs, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's pretty much it, you know, because there's times when, like I said, you just need someone to say those things to. And
Yep.
when you have that, I mean, there's nothing else better. And, you know what I mean? Since things have started like jumping back up and running since the COVID, you know what I mean? We don't get out and ride as much together, but we still keep in touch with each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Talk. Yeah, hey, what's going on? Just checking in. I see you doing this. I see you doing that. I see your kids doing this, doing good. You know what I mean? So everybody's still around each other. You know what I
For
mean?
sure.
Even though we're not around each other as much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's always there.
Yeah.
Those guys
I-
are always there to fall back on and talk to.
For sure. I was gonna say I even know the friend group that I have or like go out and recreate with, you know, it could be 5-6 weeks before we hop on a bike together. But
Right.
you know, they're definitely staying in tune with what I do, either socially or just like checking in separately. But we
Right.
know when we get on that bike, man, it's
Exactly.
special.
Yeah.
You know, no
It's
matter
go
what.
time.
If there's something that's going on in life that I, you know, need to push through this bike as like a release, or if there's a moment where I need to chat and just say like, hey man, I got something going on, like what
Right.
do you think? They're there every time.
Mm-hmm.
So I assume that's what Steel Rite Rollers is as well.
Yeah, that's definitely what it's all about, man.
Yeah.
It's all about that and more, because we're also about, you know, taking care of each other, wellness and things of that nature. You know what I mean? Like a lot of the guys on our team, you know, they do a lot of different things. My guy Frog, Gerald, he's a vegan. He cooks vegan food he's vegetarian.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's all about health. Brother Lloyd, he's all about health and wellness as well. And he also has One Nations going on, mentoring with mentors. You know what I mean? They're in the schools helping young men. You know what I mean? So that's what it's all. It's more than just bikes. You know what I mean? We're trying to bring a light to our community in many different ways. You know what I mean? So it's just a bunch of guys with great minds just coming together and just trying to make a movement.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We all have different skills. We all have different things that we can bring to the table.
Yeah, it feels almost as if the comparison, especially with the times we're in with the Tour de France wrapping up, like it's literally that. It's a team, man.
Right.
You got a climber, you got a sprinter, you
Exactly.
got a GC,
Yep.
you got all of these things.
Right.
And you all got different talents, you all have different specialties, but man, when you get together and can work collaboratively to solve a problem, and I would say brotherhood, Black mental health, wellness, like all of those things are problems that collectively we can solve. When we all come together and ride that wave, that intentionality to solve it, it's special. You can lead, I can lead, Derek can lead, Brother
Yep.
Lord can lead. Everyone's going to have a moment to lead,
Exactly.
a moment to shine, especially with their skill set. Just being in the same room, man, that's special. Riding together, special.
Yeah.
So thank you for creating that space.
Riding together on and off. You know what I mean? That's figuratively two ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love the the holistic approach that you all are applying as well. I mean, from an external, it can look like just bikes bicycling,
Right,
as you mentioned there. But it's like, no, if you peel this back, there's
Yeah.
like so much more behind this.
Exactly.
And I'm like, so grateful that you and Brother Lloyd are just like able to broadcast that as well. Because I mean, riding in tandem, on the street, people can just be like, hey, there's a group, and not see exactly
Yeah,
what
exactly.
what all is going into
Right,
that.
exactly, yeah.
With like picking up one another, like tuning someone's bike, and then going out and then like coming back and being like, I feel renewed, and
Right,
like
yeah.
rejuvenated, ready to
Ready to
take on the
start the
day,
week,
or,
yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever that may
exactly.
be. It's like, it's we can like trivialize so much and not really recognize just how much is going into something. So like all of that to say, it like takes effort, to cultivate those spaces, which I'd like to transition to like you telling what Steel Rite Rollers is, and providing context for people, that are listening, viewing, visiting Pittsburgh,
Right.
residing in Pittsburgh, and just looking for a group. Like, what is Steel Rite Rollers?
Well, Steel Rite Rollers is pretty much of a community of black men. I mean, but we do not discriminate at all. You know what I mean? We welcome any and everyone. We're just like I said, we're just about health and wellness. You know what I mean? And just bringing more attention to those areas in our communities as well as biking. Uh, what we're trying to do. What we're trying to do moving on in the future is hopefully get into like the schools or bring like more attention to the biking community with doing things as far as like maybe like crit races, bring like crit races here with like the like the Williams brothers, things of that nature. So that's what we're trying to do, just trying to bring a bigger eye to Pittsburgh and cycling, and just shine a light on Pittsburgh. You know what I mean? There's a lot of beautiful things about Pittsburgh that everybody just needs to know about, and I think we're one of them.
I agree. I agree. With with that in mind, you mentioned shining a light on Pittsburgh, but also like access. Like you mentioned your start with cycling, but we know that like many kids just don't have bikes. Period.
Exactly. Yes.
So what do you think is like the conduit for that? Is it groups? Is it collaboration? Is it partnership? Is it like all of the above?
Yeah, definitely all of the above to get these kids out on bikes. We actually have a bike club that we do ride with. That is Ruroc. Ruroc. They do have a pretty good close tapping with the kids. They do a lot of things at the wheel mill with the kids, so we collaborate with and work with them. And it's a good thing that they have going on, but we're trying to do that and more. You know what I mean? Just make this something. You know what I mean? Just bring more people outside to see that black people do ride bikes. You know what I mean? And a lot of major cities. You know what I mean? And it's just want to inspire more. You know what I mean? That's all. Because we've had one of the real things that really like one of the biggest moments that made me like want to do this is one day we were riding over in Manchester, past the baseball field, and there was like all these kids just started running with us. It was almost like, you ever see like one of those like videos of like the kids in Africa chasing like the cars, or, like the president, somebody's in the car. It was like a moment almost like that. It's like just to see someone like you on a bike, and I guess that was just like great to them. So it was like, man, like if I can do that and get these kids on the bikes, how much more would they enjoy it, these rides, or if just being able to do it themselves, you know what I mean? So, and then maybe they might want to push it into something more, so just about exposure. That's what we're trying to bring.
Agreed. I mean, there's just like a different kind of freedom when you're on a bike.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even when you're like running as well. But like some of my like freest moments that I felt have just been like barreling down a hill, on a bike. Like Marcus and I had a hill when we first grew up, or where we grew up, with kids, as kids, on that mongoose bike.
Yeah.
Where it just be like you just barrel down, like you're going so fast that the pedals are already moving, so you're just riding it.
Right,
You're just
right.
like, yes.
Honestly,
Honestly, man,
Madonna on us?
those days, that feeling. I mean, I feel like if you've had that feeling, you know it, and it's like yes.
Yeah.
So like.
Yeah.
The more that we can get people on bikes to like experience that moment too
yeah.
is like
Yeah.
it's wild.
And like we said earlier, man, like when you're on a bike or you're running or something like that, everything slows down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of things that people miss in this city, just not riding a bike or running or walking or getting out of their environment. You know what I mean? Like the Gap Trail is beautiful. You know what I mean? It is beautiful. And you can take it as far as you can go. You know what I mean? There's a trail that takes you all the way to DC from Pittsburgh. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of things that you can do on a bike that are just experiences you'll never get anywhere else.
Yeah.
And it starts here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of beautiful trails around here that you can get to many places outside the city, outside the state. You know, so it's great.
The Gap Trail is, I think, the most slept on asset in Western Pennsylvania.
Seriously.
Like to hop on the trail in Southside and go all the way to Cumberland, Maryland.
Yeah.
Is like,
Yeah.
and the fact that I still tell people that and they're like, wait, really?
Yeah.
It's like
Right.
wild.
Yeah.
Like even like you can just ride to McKeesport and back, you know, and just get out of like the immediate city
yeah.
and just like it feels like a different world, you know,
Completely different world,
because it's so like to just broadcast that like, hey, the Gap Trail exists. It's like something. It's like a learning experience for some people. So yes, I mean I run the Gap Trail all the time. That is like the greatest asset that we have here in Western Pennsylvania, and then to be able to bike pack and like do that too as well. Like it's just like oh man, that's a great experience there. So thanks for amplifying it, the Gap Trail, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I 100% agree. I think Pittsburgh just in general is just like one of the slept-on cities when it comes to like outdoor resources. You know, I think there's just so many things to do outdoors here.
Yeah.
People just don't really think about.
I mean, like Frick Park alone is like a place you can go and get lost in.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You get lost in Frick Park.
Yep.
For sure.
Either walking, trails, biking, you can get lost down there.
Yeah.
Yep.
You had brought up crit racing, which I'm going to pose the exact same question that I did to Shaquaya to you. You know, crit racing hasn't been, at least my opinion and my perspective, I didn't think about crit racing until Justin Williams popped up. Literally.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah.
Yo, Goski.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It wasn't even a idea in my mind.
Me either.
You know?
Me either.
But the identity of him, like a black man doing it, wearing chains, wearing
like
swords,
Superman.
like,
right.
bro, he is.
He is super. He's like Superman. He's like an icon
Crit racing.
for sure.
And
Same with like
Legion.
Nigel.
Yeah.
And for skateboard
Nigel
or for
Sylvester.
like biking as well. Like both of them are just like icons.
Yeah.
In like the space as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So I bring those people up to say, one, they're superheroes, like Derek has said, but they're also feeding the next generation and multi-generations of outdoor people
Right.
at a global scale. I say all that to say that you're actually doing it here on a local scale as well. You said the story.
Yeah.
You biked by and kids in Manchester were like,
Yeah.
oh
right.
yeah, oh yeah. You know, like they ran for a reason.
Right.
And it was from a fact of seeing a black man on a bike and being like, oh, I'm curious, I'm interested. So
Right,
you're a superhero here. So I want to pass that actual like statement along to say, what is your next interest in regards to crit racing? You said that you want to bring it here. What's the next steps to do so?
That is something that I haven't really delved into. Like I said, I'm a tinkerer.
Yeah.
So these are just thoughts, you know what I mean, that I've been running through my mind.
Yeah.
So it's just about putting my feet to the ground and start digging and doing the research with that.
Yeah. Well, you said it here on camera, so
Yeah.
It'll never die.
Right. So if there's anybody
be
out there,
archived.
Yeah,
anybody
well-
out there that wants to come, you know what I mean, help out, you know what I mean, let me know. We're here.
Yeah.
We're here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think
Let's
it would
make
be
it work.
amazing to do something downtown, a crit race downtown.
Yeah.
Oh man, that would
Yeah,
be
it'll be great. It'll be
great.
dope. You know what I mean?
That would be, yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Cut off a few blocks, you know what I mean, and just
That'd be wild.
get it going.
Well, I guess we can make that that wild plug. Hey Justin, if you
Definitely.
you know, if you're
Definitely.
looking for that crit race, we got a homie here that's ready to get something
We got a
started.
nice,
So
beautiful city here, man.
yeah, I
Come
mean,
take advantage of these blocks.
if Legion wants to sponsor a homie,
Yeah,
like
that'd be wild.
Why
send me one of
not?
them kits.
Yeah,
like, what?
right.
Hey, I'm cool with anything. You know.
One of those nice specialized bikes.
I was about to
know?
say one of them tarmacs. I'd
You know
like
what I
one of
mean?
them.
You
Yeah.
know?
So-
Take it.
Well, yeah,
Definitely.
I would love to see a race and support it in any way that we can. You
Yeah.
know, like hopefully someone will reach out and tap in, provide some guidance, some resources, something to get that lifted here. Because yeah, the city, in terms of race format, has everything else.
Yeah.
Got the marathon, one
Right.
of the biggest. Why can't there be a street race? You know.
I don't see why not. I don't see why not, man. We're blowing up. We're starting to spread out with the
Yeah.
bikes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where bike lanes are everywhere now.
Yeah.
Bike Pittsburgh is a big part of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like you can only keep going. Don't
sure.
stop now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree. And we were, talking before we got rolling here of saying like the community's here,
Right.
of like cyclists here, here locally in Pittsburgh. What we need is like a catalyst,
Yeah.
to say like, to like put it on the map and to amplify.
Yeah.
And I think like a race of that capacity would be it.
Yeah, and it's a pretty tight knit community too. So I don't see why we couldn't make that happen.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they do some of the races down there on the Washington Boulevard
Mhm.
at that down there, but something big,
Yeah.
something big
Mm-hmm.
that'll make people come out.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that would be the next best thing.
Agreed. I mean, I do want to jump back to like the plug with Nigel.
Oh,
I mean, the things that he does, like dropping into like several continents on one
Right, the
day,
go videos.
and it's just like,
yeah.
dog, man, just the way in which he's like nourishing people, and that is like super cool to see.
Right.
But I mean, just even as Marcus articulated as well, like you all are doing that too here locally in Pittsburgh, to like amplify, generate interest, and then to feed people in terms of like curiosity, because I'm sure perhaps there's been people in the club that have dropped by in rides or for rides that have been like, I would have never thought I would have done this, and then I saw you.
Right.
Or like,
Yeah.
I would have never done this, and then I saw like Brother Lloyd rolling down the road.
Mhm.
It's like, so it's like awesome to see the power of presence,
Yeah.
within this. So with that in mind, are there like upcoming rides? Are there upcoming initiatives with Steel Rite Rollers? Are there things that are to come that people can anticipate?
Yeah, we do have some things coming. We are doing some things with Pogo. We have some bike rides coming with them pretty soon. We also have our the end of the year rollout with them because we are ambassadors with Pogo.
Okay.
So we have the end of the year rollout with Pogo is I'm horrible on the dates, but it's since I believe September 30th, the last Saturday in September,
Okay.
if that's the 30th. And we also have a community ride coming up earlier in September with Pogo.
Okay.
We'll be rolling from somewhere around the East Liberty area
Okay.
up to around like Highland Park and back through. Probably do about a good 4 or 5 miles. Just hang out. Nothing serious, a slow roll. Like I said, just how the rollers do.
Yep.
Roll, we talk. Just see how everybody's doing. Make sure everybody's good. And
I love that. I love that.
well, it's coming down.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give us a quick shout out of how people can tap in with Steel Rite Rollers, follow you, ways for them to engage.
Well, you can follow Steel Rite Rollers on Instagram. It's STEEL period R_ITE _rollers. You can also find us on Facebook as Steel Rite Rollers. And you can find me on Instagram as Guap McFly. That is GUAPMCFLY. And those are where you can find me. And also Facebook. Facebook. On Facebook as Dorian McKinley Sr.
Gucci goo wop.
Go out, McFly. You see that tie dye in those ones?
I love it. All right, perfect. Well, that is going to be a wrap for Sincerely Yours Outdoors.
Yes, sir.
Catch you on the next episode.
Appreciate you,
Peace.
Dorian, my guy.
Yes, sir. Thank you.